What's going on, everybody? Welcome to what might be the final episode of Buzzed Up and Baked on the Scotian Canadian channel. I got my brother from another mother, David, here with me, and we're going to talk hockey. We're going to talk Habs, the current NHL playoffs.
Whatever comes up.
Yeah, we're going to get buzzed up and baked. So I'd like to invite you guys to as well. Cheers. And, yeah, let's get into it. Yeah. Tuesday, Draft Lotto coming up. I feel like that's a good place to start.
Yeah.
We're going to find out where we're picking.
First,
yeah.
No doubt in my mind.
I like that attitude. We got an 18.5% chance to get first. And, I mean, this is I don't know what to say. It'd be huge if we got it.
Bettman's praying for Arizona.
Mm.
And if it is rigged, then it will be Arizona. Okay?
Yeah.
We will know if it's rigged. This draft will tell all. Because he wants to save that franchise, and before Austin Matthews goes there, it's going to have to be a reason to go there, right? So,
yeah, for sure. And, you know, I know who's not praying for Arizona to win. And that's Shane Wright, I think.
Yep.
I would venture to guess he'd probably prefer to end up in Montreal or, you know, one of the other...
Anywhere.
One of the other 31 franchises.
He doesn't want to play in a college arena.
Yeah. So, yeah, that'd be my mail. It's like... First of all, how do we suck this bad this season?
But you know what?
You know?
There's nothing worse than finishing just outside a wild card.
Yeah.
If you're going to suck, be dead last.
Yeah.
Get a chance at a top prospect and move on to next year.
Yep. We go from Stanley Cup final to dead last. I mean, really, other than getting the cup, that's two of the best positions to be in, I guess. I'm not going to celebrate having a terrible season, but, I mean, we're going to get a fucking incredible player.
But we're the best at being the worst.
Yeah.
So
I guess you can
small
say
victories,
that.
right?
I guess you can say that.
So...
yeah, so Shane Wright, if we get first, I mean, that seems like the obvious pick, but there's also Logan Cooley and Slavkovsky, all centers.
Yeah.
All highly touted. I'm sure you can't go wrong with any of them, but like you were saying before we started, is Shane Wright the consensus number one?
Yeah.
Is he? Like, I don't know.
It's hard to say.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I don't know much about these kids, but if we don't pick first, my guess is, you know, the furthest we can go back is 3, and Logan Cooley, he's an American, he's in the, you know, the U.S. development system. That's where Kent Hughes has just come from, so it kind of makes sense if we pick second or third.
Yeah.
I'm kind of thinking they might go that direction. Lots of skill, and there's been talk recently that they want to add some, Kent Hughes wants to add size up front, so now people are thinking, oh, they might go for this Slavkovsky guy because he's big, but I mean... I don't know if you really want your size up front to be a rookie. That's probably not what he was talking about, you know?
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
I think you just go best player available.
We're bringing Delorier back.
Oh, could you imagine? I'd be actually pretty hyped for that. The dude can bang. Like, he had a pretty good season with Anaheim, and now he's in Minnesota, right?
Did you see what he was saying to the St. Louis player?
No, I missed it.
It was like a scrum, and he goes, I got 4 games to fucking kill you, bud. 4 games to fucking kill you. I was just like, yes, playoff hockey.
He scored some hype goals for the Habs.
Yep.
Yeah, I'd take him back in a heartbeat. But, yeah, so we get the draft lotto. We'll find out where we're picking.
On Tuesday.
On Tuesday, and then the draft will be after that. And we got 14, we were just looking at it, 14 picks in this draft in Montreal. Perfect year for us to be loaded with picks.
I think it's more important to know that it's in Montreal because... Other than their first overall pick, which they're getting, I will say it here, there's opportunity for trades.
Yeah.
And stuff like that, you know what I mean? It's in Montreal. They're going to have to make a splash, and I think it's a huge year to be in Montreal.
And we've never saw Bergevin, for one, trade first-round picks until his final season to get Dvorak.
Yeah.
But we've also never really seen him trade... down, like, or trade up, I guess you'd say, to get a higher pick.
Yeah.
He'd always trade back. This new management, though, might switch it up. They might, especially where they're in Montreal, they want to hit big on a couple of these picks. So yeah, it'll be exciting. So 14 total. I think, what did we say, it was 7 in the first three.
Yeah. 10 in the first 4.
Yeah, like, that's just crazy. We are going to load this prospect pool up as if it's not already filled, which is, we're going into a rebuild, but
Yeah. Laval will be good.
yeah. I mean, they're good right now. They're going in the playoffs.
Yeah.
First time.
They
COVID
lost
fucked them before.
last night.
Did they? So
They played at night. They were winning last time I checked. 2-1
okay. Nice.
against Syracuse.
Nice. So yeah, it's good to see. I mean, it's we'll get into it soon here, but how long we think this rebuild's gonna go. But it's so far looking good. We've got young players on the NHL roster. Laval looks good, and then this draft coming up, tons of potential. And then after the draft, we got free agency. Are we targeting anyone? Lots of Bergeron talk beforehand. Like Letang, a lot of that type of hot takes.
It depends. I mean, I think they're going to go more the trade route than free agent.
Yeah.
I think there was rumors about like Pierre-Luc Dubois.
Right.
Montreal native or Quebec native, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
French guy. We'll just say that.
Yeah.
French guy.
Yeah.
But I did read that maybe they're interested in him.
Yeah. So that'd be good. Yeah, and he's it's kind of would fit a need for them, especially how we've been depleted at center this last off season or whatever. And I'm not so sure. Like Dvorak is a good player. And we started to see what he could really do towards the end of the season. He went on quite a decent scoring streak there for a bit, but he's got 2 or 3 years left. I think maybe 3 years left. Yeah, so he'll be with the team for a while, but he was a guy who didn't really come to Montreal by choice. I'm curious how that'll...
Yeah.
Like, is he really in the long-term plans?
I hope.
Yeah.
I kind of like him.
Yeah.
I just think they need to find lines that mesh well together.
Yeah.
That make each other better, like Suzuki Caulfield. They'll be together for...
Oh, yeah.
Fucking 8 years.
Yeah.
Or more. But they're perfect together. They just know where they're at on the ice and stuff like that. Dvorak probably needs someone with that chemistry for him, right? So
yeah, and Dvorak's a bit more of a, grind you out, just be positionally sound, and then, shoot the puck when you're in the right area. And he can shoot it, and he can finish in tight. So, yeah, I don't mind him at all. But yeah, Pierre-Luc Dubois, you always need centers, right?
Yeah.
You always need centers. So... Yeah, so there's that. But Letang, I don't know, for one, Bergeron, we'll go to him first because...
It's not happening.
No, it's not happening. I don't think he'd come to Montreal in the first place.
No.
Plus, there's talk of him retiring.
Yeah.
Which is crazy, man. Like, all these guys that have gone down lately to retirement, it's just we're entering a new era of hockey.
Yeah.
I'm starting to feel my age a little bit.
No.
Middle-aged guy. Like, even Crosby. I remember being a kid being excited for what Crosby would do in the NHL.
Yeah.
Now his career is close to the end.
Scary.
It's weird. Just my favorite center just retired, Getzlaf. I mean, how many more seasons does Perry got in him?
Brown's done.
Yeah.
After this playoffs.
There's been quite a few. Obviously Weber. There's been quite a few that it's weird, but I mean, the NHL's loaded with talent. It's unbelievable how
just keeps getting younger and younger, right?
These guys are insane.
As crazy as it is, it's hard to feel bad for people that are retiring at 32.
Yeah. Must be nice.
Yeah.
With millions in the bank. Just
tough life.
Yeah. So no Bergeron, and then Letang. I don't know.
It could happen.
It could.
There's connections with Hughes.
I think was...
Believe?
Yeah, he's the agent, I think. I know he's Bergeron's agent, but was he Letang's
I think he was Letang's as well.
Yeah.
So...
And, if I'm Pittsburgh, who are you... there's a lot of talk about the big three getting split up. Crosby, Malkin, Letang.
Yeah.
If that happens, who would be your odd man out?
Probably Letang.
Letang, yeah. Because you want to keep Malkin and Crosby, obviously.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, never know. And that's a huge need for Montreal.
He would help.
He would help. And he would help them right away.
Yeah.
Ken Hughes recently said that they're not looking to make a big splash in free agency. But, who knows if that's him just playing the game, right?
Yeah.
So, you wouldn't pass... I mean, Letang's got... He's up there in age. He's one of these guys that could be retiring soon, too. I guess it depends on... contract he's looking for.
It's just tough. It's hard to entice people to want to come to Canadian markets as it is. But when after going to the Cup final, okay, maybe there was some interest for people. You finish dead last. what's really your selling point? Hey, you want to come help us be better in X amount of years?
Yeah, especially if you're...
Finish out your career here without a cup?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's not a...
no.
It's a tough sell.
Yeah.
Hughes has his...
Yeah. I think originally, because I remember back when he first took over, it was like, yeah, if there's a big free agent, we're going to go in. But the more time he's been with Montreal, it's like he's starting to get more of an understanding about where this franchise is.
Yeah.
And, like, it's really, really hard to finish dead last. Like, really hard. And Montreal found a way to do it. So, like...
Yeah, they did.
They're quite bad. And, like, they lost key guys last offseason. So it's not really a shock that they're this terrible, plus all the injuries and all that stuff. I don't think they're necessarily as bad as a last-place team, but it's still really hard to finish dead last.
We might have finished below Arizona, but I still say we're better than Arizona.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So.
And it was... A lot of circumstances, came into play. Short off season, completely, your core is completely shooken up. There's the whole Dom Ducharme, Marty St. Louis shit.
Yeah.
And then, but yeah, so I don't know. I think Kent Hughes probably realized that, you know what, like maybe it'd be better just to go with the young kids for one more season, like next season, just ice a young roster, like the Sens have been doing the last 5 years and not improving, but like ice a young roster next year, let it play out as it does, and if we don't make the playoffs, whatever, we'll keep building. And at some point all these assets are gonna pay off, or at least a good handful of them, and then you're gonna be looking at a stacked team. Like I think, like, as much as for me next year is a huge wild card, sometimes I tell myself, maybe we're not as bad as whatever, but then at the same time it's like, fuck, I don't know, it just seems like it's like the right time to rebuild, you know what I mean?
100%. I mean, we almost have too much young talent now though, and Montreal the last few years, one of the biggest issues has been development. So hopefully we can find a way to make these young guys a little bit better, because with 14 picks coming up in the first round again on top of our already very young core of players. We need some veterans. Like definitely. Big time to teach these guys, right? Because
because you don't want to get stuck into the rut that Edmonton did for many, many years, where they went too young and then they just couldn't, or the Leafs even. And, they started to have to bring in veterans to keep these guys grounded somewhat, with the spotlight and what it can do to you. It makes you feel like a celebrity and all that shit. And then the nightlife's tempting and whatever. But I'm definitely a proponent of, or like a supporter of having the vets around, the young core you need. And luckily, a lot of the Montreal's young kids so far have been around. Think of the playoffs. The run there, Perry, Weber, Price. So that's good.
Stahl was good too.
Yes, Stahl. Then we lost a bunch of them, right? And like now.
Basically everyone you just named.
Yeah. Now it's like, but still Joel Edmondson's there, and I'd like to see him play out his contract and stay. I think he's a great leader. There's been talk about Gallagher maybe like getting dealt at some point, but for me, like, that's why I'd keep him. I think he understands what it means to be a Montreal Canadian, more so than even Edmondson, more so than like anyone right now on the roster other than Price, who might be gone soon, but Gallagher to me is the guy who like can at least be the, carry the tradition and teach the young players the tradition.
I think for Gally, like, you leave it in his hands. If he wants to chase a cup, have the respect for him and what he's been through to find him that deal. But if he wants to stay in Montreal, I think he's been the heart and soul of the team for how long, right? So I'd hate to see him in another jersey. I really would.
Yeah, I would too. And like I'm biased, and like I wouldn't be able to see it from a player's perspective, but I don't think the Canadiens would be a team right now that I would want to jump ship on, unless I was 35 or 36. You know what I mean? But
if it's your last year, maybe.
Gally can give up a season or two, and then Montreal may be back to, maybe not being a cup contender on paper, but definitely getting into the playoffs and maybe making an impact. And, I'd like to see him stay. Like, his contract might be one of the worst on the books if he can't get back to 30 goals.
Yeah. I think he can, though.
But yeah, he very well could, right? With the right...
He still plays the same. It's just the injuries are piling up now.
Yeah.
You know?
I think there's a lot of guys, too, that really need a long off season.
Yeah.
And they're going to get one.
Yeah, they are.
So, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. So, I think that'll help quite a few, especially a guy like Gallagher.
Yeah.
And another one, maybe, Jeff Petri.
Yeah.
That's an interesting one because he's now reevaluating whether or not he wants to be traded. But
yeah.
To me, I think he's gone. I think he's...
Yeah. I don't know.
In his mind, I think he will still want out.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's... But his family was in
the States somewhere.
Yeah,
Detroit.
I can't remember where it was, but... so that took a toll on him, right? Yeah. So that's tough. So whether... I don't know what his family plans are. I don't know if do they live in Montreal?
They used to, I think, and I think they might have moved away because of all the pandemic stuff going on and restrictions. And because there was a bit of, the States was quite open while we were locked down.
Yeah.
And, if you have the option to, especially if that's not where you're from in the first place, if you're not from Canada, now you're there and now you're locked down. It's like I could just go back home and not be locked down.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it's like, but that definitely, I totally empathize with him for that because that would be so difficult. And I that definitely bothers me a bit, here and there, especially for high profile teams like the Habs, that some fans won't realize, these guys are human. These guys still have personal lives, and maybe they're millionaires and they can, things might be a little bit easier on them in certain aspects. Yeah. But still, there's a human aspect to it where, being away from your kids would be difficult. Yeah. Price dealing with all his injury stuff would have been difficult. Yeah. There's so many different factors. But yeah, I think I think Jeff will still want to trade, but it's whether or not, he's not in control of this, right?
Depends what fits, right?
Yeah. He's got a modified trade clause, I think, but Kent Hughes isn't going to just trade him for nothing because he's got value. So,
but where's his value at now?
After a bad season?
Well, it wasn't bad towards the end. Yeah. He had glimpses of what he used to be. It really depends who wants him, I guess. Who's in a need for a defenseman like Petri.
Yeah. And he's 33, I think, around there. And
God, he's old.
But his contract's not bad. Yeah. He's got 4 years at 6.5 or 6.25, something like that. Yep. So he'll only have 3 years left starting next season at 6.25. And when he's at his best, he's well worth that. He can give you the physicality. He can give you the point shot, the puck movement up the ice. The biggest thing for Jeff is his skating.
Yeah.
So I could see him being with the Habs next year, but maybe be a deadline move.
Yeah.
Or who knows, maybe he plays one more season and then it's the deadline after that he goes. But eventually he'll go and we'll get something for him, But with him leaving, that would leave kind of a big hole too.
That's where Letang needs to step in.
Yeah, Letang. Yeah. If they manage to get him, yeah. Yeah. Or so Jeff Petri be on the right, so fuck, we got some kids coming. Like Justin Barron. I still can't believe that we fucking got
I say he's full-time lineup next year.
Oh yeah.
100%.
Yeah. I think it'll be nice to ice just the kids and let them play.
Yeah. See what they can do.
Yeah. And there's no shortage. Like Justin Barron on the right. Like Gooley could potentially make the team next year.
Yeah.
If he has a good camp and if they just happen to have the space to put him in. And then Jordan Harris, of course.
Yeah.
He played with us to end the season and he looked okay.
Yeah.
Didn't look out of place, that's for sure. And
it's hard to look out of place on Montreal right now, but...
Yeah.
But I think Romanov's important.
Yeah.
I think they need to lock him up, though.
Yeah, he's an RFA, so he needs a new contract. I think it'll be... what would he have earned by now? He only had 10 or so points in his first season and maybe 15 or so this season, or 20.
He's
or
still a bit of a liability.
He is.
Which I think is good. That's why you sign him now.
Yeah.
And develop him.
Yeah, I don't think...
While maybe he's not fully reached his peak yet. Yeah. No one knows his full potential. So sign him, and maybe in a few years it looks like a team-friendly deal.
Yeah.
You know, because I think he's going to be great.
Yeah.
He throws hits, not scared to hit anyone, which is... Montreal doesn't really have that.
Yeah. And he's very coachable. He wants to get better in every area.
Yeah.
So I think...
And he shoots the puck well.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't look for silly slap shots or nothing. He just throws it at the net, which is just great. It always leads to a chance. And he hits the goddamn net. Fuck.
Yep.
Doesn't go fucking 8 feet wide. Oh, no, it was a slap pass. Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, he's another one. Like, get him locked up in it. Like you said, for me, that screams bridge deal.
Yeah.
You know, get him 2-3 years at $1.5 million or something.
Yeah.
And then, you know, even if he reaches his full ceiling, like, what is he? Like a number 3 guy, number 4?
3-4 probably.
So, like, what would you pay that anyway? 4 point. It's not like you're getting yourself in a situation where, you give him a bridge and now he's worth 10. Yeah, that's not going to happen.
No. 4 to 5, I would say, in that range would be acceptable.
Yeah, so that's going to be on Kent Hughes' to-do list here.
Yeah. In
the offseason after the draft. Another one here. This is an interesting. Well, first, Shea Weber. That contract's probably going to be off the books very soon.
I would say so. Yeah, I think Arizona's going to take it.
Yeah, and I hate to bring this up again, but like, fuck, man, when that Subban Weber trade happened, and like just was like right away, Habs lost the trade, worst trade in the history of Montreal, blah blah blah. He's got a bad contract, all this shit. Thank fuck for that cup run, because we can at least say Subban got a cup run, Weber got a cup run, so that's a bit even. But it's good to see that now Weber, even though he's retired early, like many probably thought he would, that contract is not going to affect Montreal whatsoever. They're going to trade it. They might even trade it for value. They might even get a second or third round pick for it, because Arizona doesn't want to spend money, but they need to get their cap up.
Yeah.
So they can literally fucking get a free $8 million cap for a few mil in real money. So yeah, it's
well, aren't they still paying Datsuk and like Pronger and a
a
couple other
they
ones?
They love doing that shit. They love it. They love it.
I think they were still paying Gabrick too for a bit.
Yeah.
Until he officially retired.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's just like crazy, man. What a waste of a franchise. Like, that franchise could easily be in Quebec right now and they could be making money. But instead, Gary Bettman's got this, like,
hard on for
zombie.
Them. Yeah. He loves Arizona.
Oh, it's brutal. And even when they were supposed to be good, they were still shitty. Or were supposed to start taking steps forward.
When they were in their playoff run, it was actually pretty cool. They did the Sea of White.
Right,
all the white shirts. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But since then, it's really just been a shit show.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the Weber trade for Subban. Okay, Weber looks almost as good as Subban this year, and he didn't even play. Subban literally looks horrendous.
Yeah, he's a pretty awful defenseman.
Not good.
Yeah. His point production went up just slightly, but like, he's so bad, man.
It is just
a huge liability out there. Bit of a hothead. Yeah, his teammates seem to like him though, so that's good.
The Slewfoots though.
Oh yeah, dirty as fuck, man. They've been piling up. It's gotten to the point where it's a little bit absurd. And he didn't get fined for many of them either, which is shocking, because that's a fucking extremely dangerous.
It can be.
Yeah.
I don't regret that trade at all. No, not 1% of me.
The impact that Weber had, not only on the ice, but like with all these young kids, to have Suzuki learn from Shea, see how he prepares day to day as a true pro. I think it was big for Carey to have Shea with him too, because like to carry the weight of Montreal on your shoulders. For Shea to come in and take the C, and like, so and to have that run with those two guys, like, cherish it forever. But yeah, he'll be gone. I think that contract's off the books easy. The only thing that kind of disappoints me is that, and maybe it is what it is, he's gonna have to ride out that contract just on long-term injured reserve for like the next 4 years, which will probably mean he can't join the team as a scout or as an executive, or so we're gonna have to wait like 4 or 5 years, and by then who knows what'll happen. He might go to Nashville as a scout. I just would love to see him in the organization. Like as if the Habs need another ambassador, you know what I mean?
Maybe he can help with development.
Yeah, seriously. Actually, you touched on that, and that was a really good point. When Bergevin got fired, it came out that the Habs didn't really have a development department. So, and as much as Bergevin, to me anyway, did a lot of right things, and even though it was unconventional, the way he built the team, it ended up paying off somewhat. Clearly a missed opportunity, not having a proper modern development department. And it shows, because a lot of the first 6 years of his picks, not many of them turned out, like Gallagher and Leck. That's it. And in that span of time, you got teams getting fucking elite players in the second round and third round. And he just got nothing. So it's pretty clutch that, like, Bergevin drafted a lot in those last few years, and he seems to have gotten a few good ones, you know? But thankfully, now with him gone, Kent Hughes is in and Jeff Gorton, and they're actually putting a fucking development department together.
No, I think it'll be... I like Gorton a lot. I think he's gonna pull a lot of the strings. At least be someone Hughes can lean on for his decisions and stuff, so... I think it'll be good.
And he's the one with all the contacts too, right? Jeff Gorton's been around the league. Kent Hughes. It's an interesting dynamic.
As a player agent.
As an agent. Like, it's a very interesting dynamic.
So now you've got a first-time GM and a first-time head coach. It's... You're playing with fire.
Definitely playing with fire. And normally, like, I probably would never agree to, like, especially in Montreal, a rookie coach, never... even coached in the AHL before. I'd probably never, ever agree to that, but it's Marty St. Louis. And, like, when you got, like, Torts and stuff saying, oh, he was the biggest pain in the ass because he constantly asked questions, because he's constant... Oh, man. It makes sense.
It was just so...
I think he can do it.
Like, when you seen the change of the team when St. Louis came in, like... It was night and day. It really was. Like, look at Caulfield. Okay, but
insane.
But you're looking at a guy that played Caulfield's style. A small forward, man. And now he's teaching, well, Montreal's literally a small team. They're based around no size. So he's coaching people that would play the same style that he played. And it's worked. Like, I love seeing him behind the bench. He's always talking to the players. And it just looks like they had fun, even though they finished 32nd in the league, and they look like they were having fun.
That was the biggest thing when I was really disappointed in Dom Ducharme midway through the season. And maybe it's just a snowball effect, and how much can you blame him? Or, you know, he's the new guy. He's fairly new as an NHL coach himself. But what disappointed me was at a certain point in the season, he couldn't change the mentality of the team. He couldn't change the atmosphere in the locker room. Like, okay, guys, we're not making the playoffs this year, you know. But he couldn't bring energy or fun back into the locker room. Now, a coaching change will easily do that because the talking head is gone,
but it doesn't always work.
Whatever, doesn't always. No,
it didn't work in Philly.
Philly
had no change, and now Mike Yau's gone, I believe, from that team. So it doesn't always work.
But when you're a Hall of Famer coming in, I mean, fuck, and you're Marty St. Louis of all.
I think maybe you're a little starstruck.
I
mean, a lot of these guys probably idolized him and watched him play. You know what I mean? So whereas you're like, oh, Dom Ducharme, sick.
And Dom was super boring too. The way he talked, he was just a bit quiet and whatever. But St. Louis knows his shit. He's a brilliant hockey mind, and
but he's been in the spotlight. So you have someone like that can come into, because Montreal, you're gonna face a lot of adversity no matter what you do. You can go 81-1, and the media will be like, so that one game you lost. What happened? That's Montreal. It's what they do.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of the Canadian markets are the same, and you need someone that knows how to handle that. And now you have a Hall of Famer behind the bench.
Yeah.
And what it's going to lead to is a lot of other teams are probably going to try to go with Hall of Famers now, because there's a lot of coaching jobs available this offseason, like a lot.
Yeah.
And I think you're going to see a lot of people's first-time coaching jobs, but it'll be previous players.
Yeah.
So
It's working for Carolina.
I mean, it didn't work for Gretzky.
No.
He was I wouldn't say, I don't know if he was awful, but he wasn't very good behind the bench. But I don't know.
Yeah, with St. Louis, it just seems like he just is so curious, and he speaks the game well. I think he'll be able to relate to the players well. I think his time with the New York Rangers will really help him. I remember even watching the playoffs way back when he was with the Rangers, and all his teammates would say it's like having an extra coach on the bench.
Yeah.
Like, he was in the veteran stage of his career, but he could still play.
Yeah.
And remember when he made the Canadian team? I think it was in 2014, the Russia, Sochi. And, like, he was one of the last players to make it, but then he actually ended up having a pretty good tournament. And it was, and he had never been on the Canadian Olympic team before, and then he got the gold. Like, that was really sick.
But he hasn't been out of the game that long, which I think is actually better, because you have someone that can relate to what the players are going through and still have enough of, like, a mentality to be a head coach. Do you know what I mean? Like, he can relate to the players, have one-on-ones with them. It's worked. Like, even Petri, the resurgence of Petri might have saved his value if they do trade him.
Yeah.
Because Ducharme, I don't know what his coaching style was overall, but it just didn't work.
Yeah. In one ear, out the other at some point. You could tell, just even when Drewen's in practice, like, challenging him and getting pissed off.
I'd buy him
your
out.
Guy.
I'd buy him out.
Yeah, that was actually the next one we were going to move on to, Jonathan Drewen. He's got 1 year left at 5.5. Just buy him out.
Yeah. I don't think he has anything left to offer in Montreal.
Yeah.
I really don't. And I love Drewen. I do. I think, I wish it worked.
Yeah.
But I kind of wish Ducharme worked as well. It's just because of Halifax,
right.
Obviously, right? But I don't see it ever getting to where we need him to be.
No, yeah, he's got 1 year left. I would almost just say let it play out. I have zero expectation for him, but like let the last year of it play out. We're gonna probably not. We're not making the playoffs next year. I really don't think we're making the playoffs. I would not be surprised to have us finish bottom 10. I would need, if Price is not playing, like we'll get into that too. If Price isn't playing next season, we are bottom 5 again. Easy.
Okay.
Easy, okay? So, but yeah, so Jonathan Drewen, yeah, I think I'm over with that experiment. As much as I'd love for it to work out, it's just both his wrists are fucked now.
Yeah.
And surgically repaired. And, I've said enough good things and been a supporter of him for long enough that I think I'm able to say. And maybe he could use a little bit of a refresher too.
Yeah.
And maybe go to a team where he's not expected to be a top 6. Maybe he can blend in on a third line, a depth scoring or whatever, right? Just a second power play unit guy. But yeah, it's again though, I was about to say at least the playoff run, but he wasn't even involved in that. No. So it's like, yeah, it's rough tenure for Drewen in Montreal. Yeah. I wish the best for him though, but yeah, I'm definitely ready to fucking move on from that.
Yeah, I'd sever those ties.
Yeah. Why don't we get into it? We'll go into the future core of this team.
Okay.
But we just brought it up, Carey Price. I've been saying before his most recent injury, right at the end of the season, he got injured again, or had to go see a specialist. Whatever, he was feeling discomfort. Even before that, once he made his return, the end of the season, and he started saying he was very non-committal. Like he was very like he didn't know, but he's gonna try and. This next few weeks is crucial, and then some setbacks happen, and then I don't know. I think he's done. I think we've seen him play his last game.
I think the fact that he did play the last game, it was at home, he got the win, his family was there, and he's even said, if I'm gonna go out, that's a great way to go out. I'd say it's done.
Yeah,
for sure.
And for the longest time, it just seems like he was a guy this season who maybe was in a bit of... Obviously, he went through the rehab and all that stuff. But it's like he was in denial. Like, he didn't want to call it quits yet.
Yeah.
And just the way it played out. And then the final game of the season, the whole plan the whole time was to do a big ceremony and thing for Pierre Gervais, the equipment guy.
Yeah.
And he had been with the team for like 30 years.
Yeah, a really long time.
So like for Carey to then come in and be like, "Oh, this is going to be my last game," it would have totally
took away from
him
that.
in the shadow, and I don't think Carey would want to do that.
Yeah.
And that was in my mind. I'm like, that makes me gain even more respect for Carey Price.
Yeah.
Because like I just really think that was it for him, and he didn't want to do it and make it all about him.
Yeah.
Which is like so like after the career he had, just so I don't know. That's just typical.
He's a class act, man.
Yeah.
He really is.
Yeah.
And he was always great with the media and stuff like that. So I do think he's done, and that is.
It's weird.
It's hard as a Habs
so
fan
weird.
to say that because it's like, fuck, who do we lean on in nets?
Yeah.
Without Carey Price.
No one right now.
The biggest excuse we had was Carey Price is hurt. Fuck, what do we got now?
Yeah.
Fuck, nah, we're just waiting for Ben Sherratt to come back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, fuck.
Oh man, yeah, Jonathan Drewen's out.
Yeah.
With a wrist injury.
Just misses Domi.
Oh yeah, man. But it's weird to know. Like to have witnessed his entire career from like World Juniors all the way through his battles with Montreal, losing the job to Halak.
Yeah.
Then the insane Vezina Hart season, the playoff run, gets injured. How about in Carey's likely was his last season, Chris Kreider puts up 50 fucking goals. The guy who ruined Carey's knee puts up 50 goals. That's rough, man. Anyway, yeah, I would say he's done, and that's a contract that, unlike Weber's, and we were talking about this the other day.
Yeah.
Unlike Weber's, we're probably stuck with that one because he's owed a fucking shitload of money, and I don't think there's going to be many teams wanting to pay, even though you get cap space back or however that works on long-term injured reserve.
Yeah.
That's a fucking huge contract. So
yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, so it's looking like he'll probably be just stashed on the long-term injured reserve for at least a couple years. You know, we can hope that maybe he'll come back for playoff runs. But
yeah, he will.
Yeah. But, yeah, so I think so for future core-wise, that's probably the biggest area of concern.
Yeah.
Is goaltending. And Hughes the other day said there's no one in this franchise that's proven they could be a number one. Bit of a slight on Jake Allen.
I don't like the comment myself. I don't.
I don't either.
And, I mean, and to be honest, if the way Montembeault played, really, his first few games, I was like, who is this guy? My God, send him to the minors. And then he found his game.
Yeah.
So if you rolled Allen Montembeault with an actual defensive core that didn't just fucking give pancakes in front of the fucking net,
yeah,
maybe they're okay.
Yeah.
But I think you go after Husso.
Oh yeah.
In St. Louis.
Big time.
I think you just it's him, and I think I read that maybe they go after Samsonov from Washington.
Right, yeah. Which is a good option. Yeah. Samsonov and but Husso's the main target. There's going to be a lot of teams after him.
Yeah.
But St. Louis is I guess they're cap strapped. Bennington's got a no trade clause, so he's in control there.
Yeah.
And so it's looking like Husso will hit the market.
And I don't think you go with like a veteran goalie. I think you need someone that you can lock up for a few years.
Yeah.
And just, I mean, next year's probably not going to be great.
No. And the thing is though too is that like Montreal's cap situation is horrible.
It's great.
I mean, it's not the worst of the worst, but it's not good at all in terms of wanting to add this summer, right?
Yeah.
So it'd be hard to be in on Husso as much as I'd fucking love to. Unless they figure out a way, trade Drewen, trade Petri, and then you got a cap space.
Yep.
You can go in on Husso.
You never know.
Because that would be, he's fucking good, man.
Yeah.
And we got to figure that out sooner rather than later. Because, like, I think this team will be ready to compete make the playoffs. Maybe not be cup contender, but like compete in like 2 years.
If you make the playoffs, you're a cup contender.
Right. Well, yeah, I guess.
100%.
I guess so. Yeah.
Doesn't matter what
technically.
position. It's a refresh.
Yeah. yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So but if you say they're making the playoffs, they can make a cup run. Remember when they were down 3-1 to Toronto?
Yeah. Oh, I love that. The fact that actually happened still blows my mind. Like, to know that we have that in the bank forever.
Yep.
Like, just slide it in there. First Habs Leafs series in, like, decades and decades, and we came out on top, embarrassed the shit out of them.
And, like, Leafs couldn't win a first-round series to save their life. We won 3 rounds in 1 year. Went to the cup final.
Not a big deal.
Yeah. They weren't supposed to be there.
Yeah.
How is that even a valid argument? They were, though.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah.
They didn't choose the layout of the NHL.
Yeah.
So,
and
if they weren't facing Canadian teams, well, no, then they wouldn't beat Vegas, who had pretty high fucking odds to win the cup. So
they were the cup contender on paper from everybody. Jets were favored in a lot of, Jets were supposed to do well too, and they didn't.
Yeah, they
Swept,
were.
Dominated. But what gets me, and we'll...
No, but Scheifele got suspended game 1. So there's an excuse for everything.
Every series there's an excuse. If Fleury didn't give that puck away.
Yeah.
Fuck. But yeah, what gets me is when you got Leafs fans telling you only got there because of Carey Price. Okay. You guys don't realize how hard it is to get to the cup final because you've never even seen your team win a single round. To get to a cup final doesn't happen from one goalie. Tell me, has there been any team in the cup final who got there with their goalie playing bad? So, like, you need
It's just not a valid argument because... Well, instead of spending useless money on fucking Nylander, Tavares, Matthews, and Marner for forwards, our money was invested in a goalie who can win games.
Yep.
And go to the cup final. So, like, it's just not a valid argument.
No, it's not.
It's just you're salty because you don't have a Carey Price.
Yeah.
You don't have someone that carried you to the cup finals.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the night and day of it, really.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway,
I don't think they would have been there without Carey Price. 100%.
Well, no. Well, yeah. But like you can say,
but he didn't score goals.
Pluck Crosby out of Pittsburgh, and they wouldn't have been where they went, right? No. But the thing is like if we wouldn't have went anywhere with Carey Price if we didn't have Shea Weber, Ben Sherratt, Joel Edmondson, and Jeff Petri in our top 4. Like, obviously, it's not fucking Bobby Orr and Raymond Bourque out there, but it's 3 big, solid defensemen that had an impact. And you know what? Our down the middle, Danault, Suzuki, Kotkaniemi, wasn't that bad.
Not to mention they only got in.
Yeah.
Price was hurt. Jake Allen carried the load.
Yep.
So
it was a team effort.
Yeah, like it's just not
the whole year was an intense team effort.
It's the stupidest argument to have. But I'd have a better argument with this wall.
Yeah.
Than a Leafs fan about Carey Price. So.
So next year's wild card, and then after that, I think this team can be a playoff team the season after next. So not next season, but the season after. I think they can make the playoffs, even if it's them sneaking in. I think they can do it. Just because, as long as they figure out the goaltending, right? That's the main key. Because looking at Nick Suzuki down the middle. Christian Dvorak will probably still be around unless Hughes really wants to do some tinkering. And at his best, Dvorak's a good two-way. I mean, maybe slide him into 3C if you potentially acquire a Pierre-Luc Dubois or you draft Shane Wright and have him in your 2C. Mm-hmm. Then, of course, Cole Caulfield. I mean, it's so nice to finally have elite talent. And, like, I'm looking at Suzuki and Caulfield specifically, and these guys are like, I have my doubts about Caulfield because he's like not just small, he's a fucking midget. Like,
but
he's the size of a child.
I did as well, But the NHL is moving more towards speed and scoring than it is the physicality. It's protecting the smaller players and stuff like that. So he can, like, imagine him up against Chara. He can go through Chara's fucking legs to get by him.
Yeah.
He's that small.
Well, there's, and the other thing, too, is that there's the value of Josh Anderson.
Yeah.
I think he's staying around long term. He seems to love being a Canadian.
I think he's the perfect person to play on that line.
Yeah, he can keep up. He can shoot. That's all you need. Like, he can be physical, he can keep up, and he can shoot.
He's faster than them.
Yeah. So,
but Josh Anderson can skate.
And he'll win the battle so that they can do all their magic.
Yeah.
And, so I fucking love him as a player.
So
him as a player. I think he's part of the core moving forward as well. Suzuki, Caulfield, your two elite talents, Anderson as a complementary piece.
Yeah.
And, I think the big question mark, and I think the reason why I didn't like that comment from Hughes with the goaltending was, one, like, Montembeault just went through the season with all class, didn't complain, got lit up every night because his defense was shit.
Yeah.
And then, I guess, it was the truth what Hughes said, but, like, you're, like, went out of your way to, like, shit on... And then it's a slight to Jake Allen, too.
Yeah.
So it's... Yeah, so I didn't exactly...
I think that comment alone means you have to trade Montembeault.
Yeah.
Give him a chance to start fresh, because obviously you don't believe in him. You're telling him that he's nothing, basically, at this point. Jake Allen could go 41 games with someone else.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Like, do a 41-41 split. Yeah. Bring Halak back. Fuck it. You know what I mean? Let him finish in Montreal.
Yeah, could you imagine?
Obviously, I'm joking. Okay.
But so that's so
maybe you don't get a number one goalie. Maybe you get a number two goalie that can split with Allen.
Yeah.
Because Allen stole games from Montreal.
He did, yeah.
And if it wasn't the fact that maybe playing 60 games is too much for him, he would be a number one. If the season was like 40 games, he can win games for you. 100% he can.
Oh, yeah.
He's proven that.
Yeah.
And he's great in Montreal. He's great for the community and stuff like that. So I didn't like the comment by Hughes. I really didn't.
Yeah.
While maybe it's right, you don't say it. Fuck, that's...
Yeah. Especially in the market
goodbye confidence.
Yeah, especially in the market of Montreal, where that quote will get blown up everywhere.
You may not have meant it that way, but it's about to get twisted.
Big time.
So bad.
Well, that's now strike number 2 in terms of quotes, because back in his, like, I think his second or third week, and he'll learn over time. He's new. I don't think he really understands, like, he's from Quebec too, eh?
Is he?
Yeah, he is. You'd think I think his family moved when he was young to the States.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's like maybe he doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
But there's that. But maybe he also doesn't understand the market that he's in quite yet.
Yeah.
Because that's strike 2 for media spots where he said something off color. So there was the thing about the goalies. While true, you don't say it. There was he got interviewed about Vegas or something like that, and he said something about. We need to play like them or something like that. The excitement. I think Montreal was in Vegas. And he got asked a question about like the excitement around Vegas or whatever, and he said like, yeah, we need to be more like that as a franchise. It's like, dude, you just fucking compared the Montreal Canadiens
to a franchise that's been there for 4 years.
Yeah. Like, that is so bad.
Yeah.
And even if like whatever you meant by it is harmless.
Yeah.
Do not do that, man. That is just
foot and mouth.
Yeah. Had Bergevin said that in his last 2 years on the job, he would have been like
crucified.
Yeah. Big time.
Yeah.
But dude got a pass, and a huge pass, because he was new. Honeymoon phase and shit. That's all real.
Yeah.
Like, people, oh yeah, everyone wants to hype these people. You haven't seen what they're like. Even Marty St. Louis, for example, as much as I love him, and I'm excited to see what he's gonna do. Show me how he coaches when you're labeled a contender and you need to win.
Yeah.
Show me how he coaches when the pressure's on and the losses show up and all the media's at you. Why'd you lose? Why'd you this? Why'd you make this decision? Why did you start OT with Ben Sherratt instead of whatever? All that. Like,
No one ever questioned that.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, so anyway, goaltending, we got to get that figured out. We've got a couple prospects. Frederick Dechow, that's one of them. He looks good. He's had a good season. And Jacob Dobes, he's had a really good season too. But these guys, goalies are a long way out. Caden Primo, I'm not writing him off because he's so young, but he had a pretty rough season this year. He had a pretty fucking rough season. Monty, unless he gets super motivated by what Hughes said, like maybe he wants to head out. I don't know. Like what's he? He's I think he's a free agent, right? He's a restricted free agent, so we could sign him for $1.5 million. I don't know. But yeah, so
if he would, I'd be okay with it.
Yeah, I would too. I'd keep him.
Even third string, like it wouldn't matter.
He handled this season with class.
Yeah,
and the big thing was, like you said it too, the defense just hung them out to dry.
Yeah, it was.
And Carey said it when he came back. He's like, "This is a really good goalie, but we got to play better in front of him."
Yeah.
Like it's just awful. I felt for the kid, and he handled it in stride.
No, I think if Montreal's gonna be successful in the next few years, if they don't work on special teams, they're gonna go nowhere. Because both penalty kill and power play this year were
horrendous,
painful.
Yeah,
absolutely painful.
I'm hoping to see Marty.
And now you lose Lehkonen.
Yeah.
On the penalty kill.
Colorado's going to sign him, eh?
Byron might retire.
Yeah. It's another one.
So you've got what? Who kills penalties? Armia,
Dvorak.
Evans.
Yeah. Evans. We just lost to No last year, which was a key player there.
You've got to get some really defensive players in the lineup. But the power play, too. You need someone up top that can move a puck. Because Petri this year I found was just head down shooting.
Yeah, and he's never really been good as a quarterback. No, Weber was never really good as a quarterback either. Like
neither was Subban.
Our last good QB was Markov, and we haven't been able to replace him since. Drewen was supposed to do the job. He hasn't been able to.
Killed it.
Like and it's crazy because there's a lot of teams in the NHL who even guys who aren't good 5-on-5, fucking incredible on quarter. Like, thank God for Chris Weidman this year. I'd probably bring him back.
Well, he said he would come back.
Yeah, play that role
on even like a league minimum contract. Like, fuck yeah, I'd take him back.
Yeah, I would definitely take him back. Like
Perot said he would come back. I'd let him go.
Yeah. See you later, bud.
Peace. Take Paquette with you, bud.
Yeah, but yeah, well, I mean, I take him back. Him and Caulfield were starting to figure things out on the power play.
Yeah. We'll miss Kulak.
Yeah.
I liked Kulak a lot.
So Lehkonen, that's a massive loss.
Yeah.
And Colorado's going to sign him. He's a restricted free agent still.
But the return was pretty good.
It was. The return was fucking dope. Really good.
So it's...
Yeah.
That one I can't fully be too upset about. It sucks to lose Lehkonen. But Barron in a few years is going to be...
Oh, yeah. I fucking love that kid. He's like...
Again, if this turns out like Drewen, I'm going to...
Oh, I know.
Do something really bad that I won't say on the podcast. But it won't be good.
But yeah, that return was fucking nasty. Like, to get Justin Barron, a first-round talent.
Because I really don't think they would have traded Lehkonen for just nothing.
No.
I think, but you look at this trade, and even people in the NHL were like...
Yeah.
Trade.
But good on Joe Sakic for being aggressive because Lehkonen is a sure bet in the playoffs.
He doesn't power play make
mistakes. Night. He doesn't make mistakes. Good 5-on. He forechecks well. Good defensively.
Penalty kill.
If you're looking to win a cup and you have that much skill on your team, like to plug in a Lehkonen who's just gonna do the right thing. There's a good clip of him and McKinnon celebrating.
Who scored the game winner against Vegas to get us to the cup final?
I can't remember. What was his name again?
Oh, Lehkonen.
Yeah.
Sorry. Who else was on the ice to know,
Yeah. Yeah, there was a good clip of Lehkonen and McKinnon celebrating the OT winner there the other night. Yeah. That was pretty cool to see them on the bench hyped up. I'm happy for him because he's battled a lot in Montreal. But so, yeah, he was a big loss. Where were we at? Oh, yeah, so goalie, we're going to fix that. But defense was horrific. So that is definitely number 2 in terms of future core that needs to be solidified. Luckily, we were just talking about Justin Barron. He's very smart, good skater. He's a righty.
Yeah.
You know, for as big as he is, to be able to skate like he is, that goal he scored the same game he got injured, of course. Habs luck. Scores that nasty goal, back skating, snipes it, and then he's injured. But I can't believe we added him. Like, from Halifax too. Like, it's gonna be fun to follow. Went to Fairview, like went to the same junior high as us. Like, that's nuts. So that's going to be a big piece. Caden Gooley's going to come in. Yeah. And he's a guy that I'm quite confident has a long NHL career ahead of him. I normally wouldn't say that about a prospect, but to be a defenseman and just, like, he just seems mature, and I think you need, especially if you're going to be a big, heavy defenseman, to be, like, a mature adult coming into your NHL career. We'll probably see him captain the World Juniors in the summer here.
Yeah.
On the redo, so that'll be cool. Jordan Harris. So, like, a lot of work has to be done. The pieces are there. They're just very young. So my only concern is that, like...
So Joel Edmondson needs to put all of them on his back.
Yeah.
Because Petri's probably leaving.
Yeah.
And that's what you're rolling with.
Yeah. And...
I don't even know who else is going to be available. I haven't checked free agents or anything like that. But
I don't think there's anything too crazy. Like, if it's not Letang, if he's not willing to take, like, a 2 or 3 year deal, like, you might have to look for some... Like, I guess David Savard is another veteran, right? You know, but he's
a 6, maybe 7 defenseman, though.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan, right?
I liked him towards the end.
Yeah.
I thought when Sherratt left, I thought he stepped up. He was jumping up in the play and stuff. I like that Shoneman.
Yeah, Corey Shoneman, yeah.
Shoneman, yeah. I thought he showed glimpses of something that we can use moving forward.
Yeah. He's a smart player. Like, he just seemed to know where to be and know where to
chip
the puck to. Yeah,
which
jump in
nice,
and chip it and make a nice little pass. Yeah, he's another one that
he's a pretty smooth skater. Yeah.
So yeah, the pieces are there. My only concern is that, like, it's just going to take a while, even for Romanov to get into his prime. Like, these guys are so young, so young, and, like...
Well, Romanov's stuck playing in a top 2 role in Montreal, really.
Yeah.
And I don't think he's that. I like him in the second pairing.
Yeah.
Maybe not going against the top people, but, like, can still... He'll fuck people up.
Oh, yeah.
For a long time. Like, he throws hits, like... And it's great, but you need to replace the Sherratt-Weber pairing that you lost.
Yeah.
Somehow. And I don't know how you do it.
Well, you got Joel Edmondson for a couple years, but by the time we're competing, he's probably going to be out the door. So yeah, it's going to come down to free agents over the years and maybe, you know, a trade here and there. Guy steps up. Like Caden Gooley coming in, like, he might be a guy who's fairly sound defensively and physically early in his career. It's just you just don't see teams winning, especially in the playoffs, with defensemen that are under 25, you know.
Yeah.
And, like, I always
unless you're Cale Makar.
Yeah, dude, he's Bob. We're literally witnessing the next Bobby Orr.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't say
we'll get into that later.
You hear that the next whatever, the next this, but he's the next Bobby Orr.
Yeah.
It's fucking insane. But yeah, so the D needs a lot of work. But again,
the problem is, though, like,
pieces are there.
They need a lot of work, but there's not a lot of spots.
They need a lot of growth is what they need.
Like, and I don't get how... I just don't know how you do it. Are you going to send half of these guys down to Laval for a year?
Honestly, like as much as Caden Gooley might make the Habs, it's probably more wise for him to spend a whole year in Laval, play top pair, be the number 1 for 1 season, and then come up, right? But it's going to take time, and next year,
like, even all the people we've named, that's like 8 or 9 defensemen, that we're talking about currently. So then you're going to bring in 1 or 2 more. All of a sudden, you're up to like 11 defensemen that you're trying to fit in an NHL roster.
Yeah. Joel Edmondson, David Savard, right? And then Justin Barron,
they would be the
Jordan
veterans.
Harris,
Alex
Romanov.
I would say Shoneman.
Yeah.
Looked good, whatever his name is.
who knows? Maybe even Jordan Harris spends a whole year in Laval. You know,
maybe they just rushed him up to
just to get
fill
some
the spot.
Yeah, just to get some experience. Like the thing is it's weird because all the pieces are there. They just need the growth, and the growth is going to take like potentially 3 years, 2 to 3 years. So we'll see. But that's definitely, I think that as much as goaltending's an issue, that's one player.
Yeah.
The D was fucking horrendous, and I think it's going to be a while before they can be, you know, a core you can count on to win in the playoffs, you know? So yeah, the D will go through a bit of a construction over the next couple years here, but at forward, you know, we've got, again, some good pieces, and I just want to make sure we don't forget to mention a couple prospects we got coming up here. Joshua Waugh, one of them, he's playing with Sherbrooke right now, just won the Jean Beliveau trophy for most points in the QMJHL. He was a fucking stud this year, well over 100 points. We drafted him in the 5th round, but he went number 1 into the queue and then had a really bad season, and it tanked his NHL potential or whatever, apparently. Yeah. But he's got his fucking swagger back, and it might be the steal of the century. Seriously, I think he's a winger, left wing, I think. But yeah, that's an interesting one. And then Sean Farrell, who is going to be playing with Jordan Harris actually for the States at the World Championships. Yeah. So, and Sean Farrell is like a small forward. I guess maybe compare him to like a Goudreau or something like that. But he was picked in the 2nd round, setting records in the NCAA. So we've got like not only Suzuki Caulfield with this insane elite talent, we might have a couple other ones. Yep. And some steals coming up, right? That'd be fucking huge for this franchise. Huge for this franchise.
We need goals.
Yeah.
Very badly.
Yeah. Very, very badly.
This year's stats were just...
Yeah, we're back to saying that. Small and can't score. Here we fucking go. Yeah. The universe always figures itself out.
I'd like to see Montreal go back to more of a... having that 4th line with some big bodies. Like the Deloriers and stuff like that. Like, you need someone that, say Caulfield gets leveled. Yeah. There's times they got hit and Suzuki's there. And it's like, what are you going to do? Really? Like, you need some... I know Anderson will throw hands occasionally, but if he's not on the ice, maybe you don't want Anderson answering the bell 24/7.
Yeah, you don't need him in the box. Yeah,
right? So you need someone that you can sacrifice to do those things, because
I always love having just a banger on your 4th line,
like Prost and Shaw and
you need them.
Weiss.
They provide energy. They provide space for the other guys on the ice.
Dale Weiss is the reason we beat Boston that year. Him versus Lucic, even in the handshake, was one of like my favorite moments of hockey. Yeah. Like, I loved it.
Like the fact
mocking the celebrations and stuff like that, and the fucking
Lucic got that fucking pissed. He went out of his way to say that in the handshake line because it
would kill you.
Yo, Weiss was in his head that bad, man. That is rough. That's so rough.
Yeah, but you need those players.
Yeah,
you need the ones that can
provide that little bit of
spark.
You will definitely need those players next year when we're icing a bunch of kids.
Yeah.
So, and Delorier, he's probably, if he went at the deadline, I think he'd probably be a UFA.
I think he is, yeah.
Oh, man, I would love to bring him back. Because he can play, too. He can skate.
Yeah.
And he can score the odd goal.
And
so
people are scared of him.
It's not, terrified of him. He can, he's one of the best in the league. There's not many guys that can throw down with Wilson and Lucic and shit like that.
Yeah.
And he fucking can, so... yeah, that'd be big. And you know what? Next year, God forbid, we miss the playoffs. Here we go. We got to pick we got a shot at Connor Bedard, and that would not,
I'm going to roll my eyes here. Do they know Scotian Canadiens' last name?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, Bedard. Yeah. So yeah, me and Connor share a last name, and I definitely want him on the Habs. So, and for that reason only, right?
Yeah.
That's the only reason.
That's it.
That's the only reason.
You can get a Bedard Montreal Canadiens jersey and it has meaning.
Yeah. Yeah. But no, I mean, dude's gonna be McDavid or Crosby or Stamkos level good. Like he's gonna be a cup
Thank you for
champion.
putting Stamkos in that.
Yes, he's gonna be he's gonna be a absolute. Just I don't know. He's incredible, and not only would it be nice to get him on the Habs, but we in Halifax are gonna get a nice good look at him next year.
Yep.
World Juniors coming to Halifax.
We will be there.
Yeah, 100%. And to be able to get to see Connor Bedard play the World Juniors with Canada.
Some Scotia Canadian live streams of that.
yeah. What's nuts is that like he in the World Juniors at this Christmas before it got canceled, they had him slated on the fourth line. And like within the first 3 games before it got canceled, he was their best player and leading them in points.
Fourth liner.
Yeah, at 16 years old. Yeah. So now they're going to redo the World Juniors this summer. He'll be on it, obviously. He's going to go play.
Maybe.
And, like, he's going to fucking light up that tournament. And then he'll be, 17, almost 18 for next year's World Juniors? Like, fuck. We're going to get to see him play a lot. And,
saying that, I don't think Montreal will finish bottom next year.
Even without Price?
I don't see it. I don't think the city of Montreal can handle another like dead last performance. Yeah. I think
it might have to. Well, you know what? The long off season is going to do a lot for a bunch of these guys.
A lot of nagging injuries get fixed and
Petri,
stuff like
Galley,
that.
Dvorak, Anderson. I don't know.
I mean, I think it really depends on the moves they make this offseason. It's all speculation until we see what they go after and what they trade for and who they sign. Because if they can pick up a couple defensemen, Allen's going to win you games.
Yeah.
Way more than he did this year.
If he's healthy.
Oh, he's going to be healthy. It's a long offseason.
Yeah.
But, no, I think I don't think the city of Montreal and the way they're built can handle another dead last season. Fans are back in the building and we finished 32nd.
But you know what? Even if we miss the playoffs, we'll have a slight chance. And, I don't want to wish injury on anybody, but if Bobrovsky happens to go down and Florida somehow misses the playoffs, we got their pick too.
Yeah.
And that would be another, and it's not lotto protected, so if they happen to fluke win the lotto, that was a clutch fucking trade. I can't believe he got Florida to not protect that first for fucking Ben Sherratt. Like, I love Ben Sherratt. Don't get me wrong. He'll be great for them in the playoffs, but
will he though?
To not protect the pick,
6-1
to not lotto protect the pick in a generational talent year. Fuck, man, that was the first move for Hughes and Gordon where I was like, oh shit. They're fucking making some. I'm liking this, and then the Barron one as well. So I'm not sold yet. Like you got to give it a 2. For me, and I think you got to give it like 2-3 years, 4 years even, to know what you got in a GM.
Yeah,
what you got, because it's just stressful, man. These are important decisions. I want to see Montreal win a cup before I'm dead.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah.
Fuck.
One free agent I'd like to see them sign would be Pitlick.
Yeah.
I think he's looked good.
Yeah. And he's a restricted free agent too, so we'll be able to. Hopefully, he's willing to come back. I mean, we got his cousin as a prospect.
Yeah, and his brother or something too.
Came in, or is it his brother?
There's like 3 of them. So.
Yeah, it might even be his brother.
I think his cousins are. His cousin's already played.
Came in. Yeah, Tyler's his cousin. Yeah. So yeah, it's his brother that's the prospect. Yeah. So yeah, fuck man, that'd be sick to bring him back because he looked good.
Yeah, no, I really liked what he brought. Even in shootouts and stuff, he was good, which Montreal is also very, very bad at.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Well, we pretty much covered everything Montreal we absolutely could have, I think.
Yeah.
Why don't we just quickly go through the NHL playoffs? I've been watching quite a bit of it. I know you've been watching a bit of it.
I haven't. I've been gambling on it, though.
Okay, sweet. So we'll provide a good back and forth on this. We touch on it briefly, just because that's the important stuff going on right now, I guess. Okay. Colorado, Nashville, 3-0 right now, right after today.
Yeah, it's not close.
Yeah, not close.
It wasn't going to be close. Saros is out.
Yeah.
Nashville, you lose Saros, who, in my opinion, is one of the best goalies in the NHL.
Yeah, he's really good.
They even with him, they didn't stand a chance. Without him, it was just they were destined for a sweep. But they took them to overtime, which was impressive.
They did, yeah.
But then Cale Makar happened. So
yeah, that was a sick sequence of plays too. But all credit to I was watching that game the other night. Connor Ingram, I think that's his first name, Connor. But definitely Ingram. But yeah, he fucking stood on his head for Nashville. Yeah, it was really impressive because the Avs are just insane offensively.
They have everything.
Yeah. Just the like. Nathan McKinnon is such a fucking like unicorn in terms of a player. Like to be that skilled, that fast, that gritty, that like he shoots from everywhere, he can score from everywhere. Like 1 minute he's scoring, the next minute he's punching a guy in the back of the head, taking a penalty. I fucking love that. Yeah, I love him. So you got him as a unicorn, then you got Cale Makar, who's like we're witnessing history.
Oh yeah, no, he will go down as one of the best defensemen.
The shit he does on the ice,
and you can say that already. So that says everything.
And I love that he's Canadian too, so you can just hype the shit out of him all day, right? Because he'll be rocking that maple leaf come Olympic time, come World Championship time, if he ever doesn't make the playoffs. But yeah, he's good. So yeah, Colorado's gonna steamroll Nashville. They got 1 win left to go.
It's basically a bye.
Yeah. Nice little break for them.
Yeah.
I have them in the final, Colorado, this year. I think, and last year, I didn't. I had them to be gone early because they didn't have the depth last year. But when you come into this, like, they had a sick deadline. Yeah, Josh Manson, all the physicality, defensive play. Yeah. Exactly what they need. And then Lehkonen, they're going to re-sign him. Like, he's an RFA still. Yeah. So not only do they got him for this run, they're going to keep him. As much as I like Justin Barron, I'm a little bit worried that Lehkonen's going to be one of these guys that ends up being a 20-25 goal scorer in his prime. But what can you do? What can you do?
He won't get the media though.
Yeah,
Colorado, it's going to drop off from where it was in Montreal.
Yeah, I'd love to see Lech win a cup though. Yeah, and he has a good shot this year. Like he'll provide exactly what Colorado needs, along with the skill they already had.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Mini St. Louis. I've watched a bit of that here and there. Got to think Minnie's probably taken that one.
I like Minnesota to win that series. Yeah.
They're a good fucking team, and a lot of people, fans anyway, will sleep on them until all of a sudden they're in the conference final or the final.
I had them to go to the final.
Yeah. But Fleury, like, I'll cheer for that fucker, like, all day. Golden pads and everything.
He is single-handedly making Vegas look very dumb.
Yeah. He's still making Pittsburgh look dumb for letting him, like, why did Pittsburgh expose him? Yeah. For, who was it? The guy who went to, Matt Murray, he went to Ottawa. Yeah. So they exposed Fleury to keep Murray, who they didn't even keep, and now, like, oh, man. And Fleury was, like, part of that crew. Yeah. And his contract wasn't even bad.
Part of me thought he was going to go back to Pittsburgh for one more run at the deadline.
Yeah.
I did think that might happen. And what a game changer that would be, because Pittsburgh's on their fucking third string goalie now.
Yeah.
Did they lose?
Check it. But yeah, I got Mini in that one. Kaprizov is a fucking unit. Spurgeon coming into his own on defense.
Yeah, I like the way he cross-checked that guy in the ankles there that night. That was good. It's playoff hockey, boys.
Yeah, let them play. Love it. LA Edmonton, that's a bit of a series. It's 2-1 now, right? Edmonton won the last two after they lost the first game.
Yeah. Penguins won 7-4.
There you go. So that's a 2-1 series. 2-1. Yeah. So LA Edmonton.
I'm saying Edmonton in 5. I think they took that loss pretty bad.
Yeah.
I don't think LA touches them.
And you know what? LA is missing Doughty.
Yeah.
So that's a huge game changer. And Phil Deneau can't be the fucking hero. You can't just shut down. Like, he doesn't have Weber and Edmondson and Sherrod on D helping him out either. No. Or Suzuki. Let's not underrate how fucking good Suzuki is defensively, right?
Yep.
So, yeah, Edmonton for that one too. And Edmonton made some good additions at the deadline as well. Kulak, we already mentioned him. But he's fucking underrated, man. Like nothing special,
No.
but he can move the puck. He can win battles.
In the playoffs, if you don't hear a defenseman's name, it's good. That means he's doing his job. He's just staying back. He's shutting people down, and you don't want to notice him.
Yeah.
That's the style he'll play.
And then, of course, Evander Kane.
He's looked great in Edmonton.
He's lighting the lamp.
I'd sign him.
Oh, yeah.
In Edmonton.
Hopefully he stays in Edmonton thinking, you know what, I can do something special here. Hopefully he doesn't try to break the bank.
They allowed me to rebuild my career. I'll sign here. And you know what? If it depends what kind of run they have. If they were to get close and they're like one piece away, I think he resigns.
Yeah.
But I don't know if Mike Smith's the goalie to get them there.
Yeah, I'm not so sure either. Calgary, Dallas. They're playing tonight. That game's starting here shortly. If it didn't already, just started.
I think it's.
I got Calgary in that one. Very defensive series, though. I would love to see Dallas go through. Joe Pavelski's been one of my favorites in the NHL the last many years. If it weren't for Ovechkin, Pavelski would be the premier goal scorer.
It's 1-1.
1-1. Yep. Nice to see some goals getting scored in that one.
Trevor Lewis for Calgary.
Nice. Yeah. But yeah, I think Jacob Markstrom's going to be hard to solve for Dallas, and Dallas is kind of getting up there in age.
But Dallas has that Ettinger kid, man, and he is a game changer. He might be one of the best young goalies in the NHL. He is just Ettinger, whatever the fuck his name is.
And then, of course, Robertson.
Yeah.
What's his... Nick Robertson is in...
I think it's Jason.
Is in Toronto, right? Or
I could be wrong. I'm not
Jason Robertson, I think you're right. Yeah.
We're going to say
but he's, fucking incredible season.
Yeah.
Breakout year for him.
Yeah.
Like...
Sagan's looked good towards the end of the year again. So if and I say he's one of the best captains in the NHL, Jamie Benn.
Yeah, a big time.
I would have loved to have a Jamie Benn in Montreal myself. Yeah. If he can find his game, spark some shit. But I would take a Matthew Tkachuk right now any day of the week. That guy is
100 points, like just tangling it up, dropping the gloves, pissing people off.
Dude, he is the Tkachuk brothers.
We had a chance for Brady. Sorry. It makes me angry.
No, I know.
Yeah.
Good thing we took Kotkaniemi. How'd that work out? No, the Tkachuk brothers are great for the NHL. Yeah. But I say Calgary as well, myself.
Yeah. Jacob Markstrom's that good, and Calgary's got a very strong defense.
And they got Toffoli.
Yeah, Toffoli, underrated utility player. Yeah. Just does everything. Everything.
And I hate it. I do hate it, but Lucic is great for playoffs. He
is, and he looks good skating. I don't know if he lost 10 or 15 pounds, but...
No, he gained it, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
His hit on Duchesne the other night, did you see that? Oh my god. He demolished Duchesne.
Absolutely killed him, eh?
Oh, fuck, it was bad. Save it for last, don't say it.
Okay. Next one, we'll go Pittsburgh Rangers. So that's 2-1 now. Pitt won tonight.
Yeah.
You know what? Would love to see Crosby go on a little run here, just because it seems like they're going to break up, and who knows if Crosby will get another run, depending on how this plays out for them. Good to see Crosby and Gensel fucking lighting the lamp constantly. Gensel doesn't get enough credit because Crosby's in the limelight. Yeah, 2-1, but what are your thoughts? Are the Rangers?
I'm still saying Rangers myself,
Yeah.
I just think... I think they have... I can't say they have more pieces in place because Pittsburgh is just Pittsburgh. And you can't count them out of anything. Yeah. I don't know. I'm leaning Rangers.
And Pittsburgh's up 2-1 with their backup as well. Or no, their
backup's backup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're on their third string. And
now 7-4, it was 2 empty netters. So it was 5-4.
Okay.
And then 2 empty netters.
But Tristan Jarry's about to come back too.
He could, yeah.
Yeah, he was practicing, but not with the team. So that's... I don't know how close he is, but...
Yeah.
But yeah, the Rangers, I mean, Adam Fox on defense, right? Zibanejad at 4, another underrated player.
Kreider had a bad year.
Kreider, yes, terrible this year.
Yeah,
Fucking
no,
cocksucker.
atrocious. Panarin's really bad.
Yeah.
No, I kind of like the Rangers team, to be honest with you.
Yeah, so you got the Rangers coming back?
I think the Rangers come back and win.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go. I think Pittsburgh will somehow manage to get it done. Florida, Washington.
I'm still going Florida.
Still, yeah, after they got smashed today.
I think you start Spencer Knight next game. I do. I think you give him a chance. I think you let him see what he can do, and I think that's why you have 2 goalies. You know what I mean? If Bobrovsky, I didn't see any of the highlights or anything like that. I don't know what happened, but 6-1's a pretty bad spanking in the playoffs.
Yeah, and Bobrovsky, he just doesn't seem to, he's had the odd,
Now, he did well this year.
He did.
He had a good year.
He did. So, but the thing is, is he, some of these goalies, like Freddie Anderson, for example, incredible regular season goalie. He's injured right now, but for the Leafs, for example, and then playoffs, you'd shit the bed.
That's because he played for the Leafs.
Bobrovsky.
That's not a valid argument.
Yeah. Yeah. Good point, actually. Touche.
He was destined to lose first round.
Yeah. Bobrovsky, I don't know what it is, man. I think he's been out of the first round once in his career. That was the one thing with Florida. It's like the sticking point. Like, will they get the goaltending? Spencer Knight could come in and be a hero, but
I still think Florida can get it done. I think this is the year you win for Joe Thornton. I think you added Ben Sherratt and Claude Giroux for a reason.
Those are
you're
huge
all
adds.
in.
If you go out in the first round after adding
you're going to look bad. And to Washington, who was the second wild card.
Yeah.
You're playing the President's Trophy, but the President's Trophy is a curse.
Yeah.
It really is a curse. So,
but man, think of the clutch players that Washington has in Backstrom, Oshie, John Carlson. Now the goaltending, as much as they've had Vanacek and whatever have had good seasons, like those are some fucking clutch players you got at forward. Tom Wilson.
But not to mention they've won cups.
Yeah.
Or a cup, I guess.
Yeah.
But they have the experience, whereas Florida doesn't have that.
Yeah. And I was all in on Florida because I love Barkov. Like, I'm looking at Barkov and Huberdeau as the next Bergeron Marchand. Like, I'm looking at Barkov and Huberdeau as, like, future Hall of Famers. So you got to think they'll have some playoff runs.
They're getting it done.
They're getting it done?
I'm telling you, they will get this done.
So, an Ekblad on defense, beast.
Mackenzie Weegar.
Okay.
Gets no credit ever and is a stallion on the back end. I would love to have a Mackenzie Weegar in Montreal.
Yeah. That's we're gonna give him some credit here because
credit's coming, boys.
Yeah, because
and girls.
Unbelievable season. 44 points in 80 games. And he is physical, he plays with attitude.
Yeah.
Like, this is a proper NHL defenseman. Drafted in the 7th round. Memorial Cup champion with the Mooseheads.
Yeah, he was.
So yeah, baby. Like, and that's a guy that would have been in the shadow because of McKinnon, Drewen, fucking Marty Firk, all these guys they had.
But those are the players you need to win. And I think Mackenzie Weegar.
Yeah.
And they had that Lindell. The rookie.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God, man. He's really good. If he can find a stride in the playoffs. They're not done.
No.
2-1 to Washington. I think they win in 6.
So they're down 2-1.
Yep.
Oh, that's rough.
I think they win the next 3. Florida.
You got to think it's Spencer Knight. I think you'd have to at this point. I wouldn't be banking on Bobrovsky after having the game like that in the playoffs. And I don't know. If that's always been my worry with that fucking team, man.
Did he start tonight?
I feel like an idiot because I picked Florida to go to the final in my bracket. Despite the goalie thing. I'd love to see it, but at this point now down 2-1. So Boston, Carolina, best 2 for last year. Carolina, it's a 2-1 series.
To clarify, Samsonov started for Washington tonight.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just a little fact for you, and it was Bobrovsky.
Yeah.
But I still think Florida gets it.
Okay, Boston, Carolina. Best two for last.
Oh, fuck. Carolina in 5.
Yeah.
It's a shame. I don't think Boston has the goaltending that they need.
No.
And Carolina is just sneaky good.
Yeah.
They're just...
It's different in the playoffs. And going back to the goalie thing, we were having this chat the other day in our group chat, but you see who the men are and the boys are in terms of goaltenders when it comes to playoff time. Carey Price is a man. We all know this. Bobrovsky is a boy, right? Seriously? Yeah. There's a few other guys that, like, Freddie Anderson might be a boy in the playoffs, you know?
But he's not getting his chance right now.
Yeah. Tuukka Rask, he was a man, always.
Yeah. There's
Marc-Andre Fleury. I think he, you know...
Is a god?
Yeah. He just... Yeah. So... Yeah, Boston, I think, is going to struggle here.
Yeah,
to win. They're already down. Carolina is a Jacob Slavin on the back end, like one of the best defensemen. Shut down D'Angelo offensive. They got one of the best offensive and one of the best defensive.
Yeah.
It's and then Aho and like Kotkaniemi, like as much as he's not on the board, he's winning battles.
Yeah.
Like
I think, and that hit. Svechnikov on Lindholm.
Yeah, let's not forget Svechnikov.
Hit of the playoffs.
Easily, yeah.
Demolished him.
Clean, 100% clean, too.
We're calling it here. It was clean, to
yeah.
clarify. It was
clean as
one
day.
of the cleanest hits.
Yeah.
Flattened him, ruined him, and glad he's locked up for 8 years, Boston.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah, that's rough. That was rough. And I would suspect he's done at least for the first round.
For the playoffs.
Probably
because
for the
they're
playoffs.
in the first round.
Yeah, exactly. That's easy. Bergeron probably retiring. Marchand had a good game the other night though. Like started to play with some grit, play with some attitude, got on the board. They managed to win, but
who was didn't Carolina start their third string goalie or did he
they had a third string. So Freddie Anderson hasn't played yet.
And I don't know what I was reading something earlier. It's on the internet, so it must be true. It seems like he's a pretty physical goalie.
What? Really?
Was he getting in the mix with Marchand or something like that?
Oh shit! No, I missed that bit. Anyway, last one, best for last, or no?
Why bother?
Least for.
It's too predictable.
Yeah. Toronto, Tampa.
Toronto to win the cup.
Yeah,
just kidding. Kidding.
No, I have Toronto in the series. I'm not gonna hide behind it. I don't know. Tampa losing their third line in the offseason, playing all the hockey that they did. They lost Savard as well as depth in a sixth role.
Yay!
It's a good number 6, you know. And I don't know. Toronto. I feel like the Mark Giordano ad was really good. I think that was a very smart ad for the veteran presence. He can play defensively while also not being inept offensively at this point in his career, right?
Yeah.
And I'm trying to give him credit. I'm trying to do my best.
Keep going.
Lebushkin, he's got on the board. He's been physical for them.
Yep.
Good, on the right side too. You always need that.
He stayed away from the sushi.
Yeah. Morgan Riley, he's doing his thing. Jack Campbell, he's a man in the playoffs. I hate to say it. He hasn't been the great, but this is Tampa we're talking about that they're playing. It's not the Habs.
So?
But
he lost to Montreal.
Yeah, he lost to Montreal, but he had a 1.8. He had a better save percentage, or a better goals against average than Carey Price, and a better save percentage than Carey Price. The fact that we beat them in the playoffs with him playing better than Carey is insane.
Wins and losses, bro.
Yeah,
that's what makes you a man.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
I think he's entering puberty.
Austin Matthews 60 goals in 73.
I think he's looking to be a man.
Yeah. Mitch Marner's doing his thing right now. I mean...
Yeah, but neither Matthews or Marner was on the board when they won their last game.
Yeah, the Leafs' bottom 6 holds something to be desired. I don't like their bottom 6 at all.
I'm thinking... I say Tampa wins the series. That's just because I hate Toronto, and I will never be on record saying Toronto will win. I don't think either of these two teams make it past the second round. I think Florida's better than them. I think Pittsburgh and the Rangers could knock them out. And I definitely think Carolina can beat either of these teams.
Especially if they get their goalie back. Yeah, I agree.
So I think be as rough as you want.
Yeah.
Knock each other out.
Yeah.
I don't care. But I'm rooting for Stamkos. So.
Yeah. You've always been a big Tampa guy. No, but I agree, though. Like, I just feel like this might be the year they finally break the curse. The only thing is they got to face this Vasilevsky streak. He hasn't lost after a loss.
Yeah.
In, 16 games now?
Fuck, I don't even know what it is. It's ridiculous.
It's insane. And so now, had the Leafs lost tonight, the series was probably done. Because you're not beating Vasilevsky that much.
You're just not beating him twice in a row.
So they had to win the last game. They did. It's 2-1 now. If they win this game, I guess you still probably can't call it a series over because
Toronto can't hold
3-1
the
against
3-1
Tampa.
series lead.
Yeah. So if Tampa Bay wins the next game, it goes way back into Tampa's favor because of Vass again. So yeah, the odds are stacked against Toronto.
I think it goes 7.
Yeah, if it goes 7, I think the Leafs lose. The Leafs need to win this. Same thing against Montreal. They needed to win it in 5 or 6 at the most, but probably 5.
Remember when Galchenyuk did really well for the Leafs and just gave the puck away? that lives rent free right here.
After the whole year or half year, or whatever, all these reporters going on, all the rejuvenation of Galchenyuk in Toronto.
He literally queued up the comeback for the Habs. So, thanks, Chucky.
Yeah, I love that. Just them eating their words. There were so many storylines for the playoffs. That series.
The Habs were meant to lose series 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah.
Okay, they only lost 4. So
it's just literally.
And yes, we're talking about this year's playoffs and still bringing up the Habs Cup run. You know why? Because they went to the Cup Finals.
Exactly. And what other teams have done that in the last however many years? It's just such a shame, man, that Weber and Price got that close. That was another thing coming into the season. I think a lot of guys were still heartbroken.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
And that would weigh on you so badly. And you don't want to sit here and make excuses. We're not a franchise that would, but it's just like when you do get that close, you got to have those conversations. And fuck, man. Yeah. But yeah, it was something special. But yeah, the Leafs. I don't know. I think they might do it. Just because they should have done it forever ago. And if Tavares can just kind of play a two-way role, if he's not getting on the board, and Matthews and Marner and Riley and Gio and Bunting, this fucking guy they find. Yeah. Like, it's unbelievable the talent they find. They just add. Yeah. But that's the thing. When you got a superstar first line, he's going to make everyone better. Yeah. But yeah, I would agree. Both teams are out next in the first round or in the second round easy.
I think Toronto's out first round.
Yeah.
And then
they're not good enough
Keyford
defensively.
Or Dubas. Yeah. One of them gets fired.
Yeah, that's the thing. They might be heads might fucking roll here.
If they're out, they're almost in win now mode. They have to be.
They almost might get a pass again just because it's Tampa. No.
Fuck no.
4 or 5 first round exits. Oh man, could you?
What a storyline that
especially after being up 2-1.
I hope 3-1. I hope they go up 3-1 and lose again. Oh man, I will just.
Okay,
I'll be in my happy place.
Who wins the cup?
Colorado. I think it's Nady Mac's year to bring it to us.
Yeah,
thank you.
I agree. Yeah, I don't know how you bet against Nathan McKinnon,
although
Rantanen, McCarr,
what happened today,
Landeskog all in a row, healthy.
It depends on the goalie.
Yeah, that's right, Darcy Kemper.
He went down, so
that's pretty rough. But Francouz, I'll vouch for him, man. KHL, elite stats, came into the NHL, elite numbers off the bat. He's been injured quite a bit this year, So he's coming in rested. Hopefully he's healthy.
Yeah.
When he's on, he's a very good goalie, but he's also never been tested in the NHL playoffs. So, but it's not the worst option. So if Kemper's done, it is what it is. But and he's been good for them too.
Yeah,
man, that was a smart pickup. Joe Sakic has been on point, dude. Like
the ex-NHLers look good.
Yeah.
As GMs.
They do.
Rob Blake.
Yeah.
Joe Sakic. Steve Yzerman. Man.
Yeah. Killing it. Yeah, so I hate to be, not off the wall there, but fuck, I don't know how you don't go with Colorado. Cale Makar back there, like these guys are rolling and like
he's a human highlight reel though.
Oh yeah.
Like it's disgusting what Makar can do with the puck.
His edges and like he just tricks guys. His deception, like he's going one way, then he's going the other. He's back skating.
It's just not fair.
Yeah. Or he pinches. He like dekes you out at the blue line and pinches in and scores like a McDavid goal right in front of the net.
As a defenseman.
Like, what? Yeah, it's... But think about this decor. Devin Taves. Eric Johnson.
Like a career year.
Yeah. Eric Johnson. Josh Manson. Cale Makar. Sam Girard. Bowen Byram. Like all these fucking like while Bowen Byram's young, I mean World Junior Canada, like incredible junior career. Sam Girard moves the puck well. Like to have that, Eric Johnson, the physicality veteran, Josh Manson, same thing.
Yeah.
And then I mean Landeskog, power forward. Like they have it. Kadri, 100 and some point season.
If he doesn't get suspended, they win the cup.
Man, and he's physical. I don't know what the Leafs are thinking trading him. I don't know what they're thinking. Anyway, I think it's probably good time to call it. Yeah. Thank you everyone for joining us. I'm pretty fucking lit up here. I feel like that was a great conversation.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining me as usual.
No problem.
And go Habs go. Good off season coming here.
See you in 3 years.
Yeah.
When we have something to talk about.
Go Habs go, baby.
Woo!